Hi everyone, Brad Balance Chess here with special guest.
The Hearshot Kid 93.
As you know, we are bringing you chess videos to help you improve your game and maybe help us improve as well. Today we're going to look over a very famous game done by one of arguably the greatest chess player of his century, one of the best attacking players of all time, Paul Morphy. And this is his famous opera game. He's playing white against some Earl or Duke or something like that. Someone important. He opens up the game with e4.
So technically he should lose right out of the bat, but
Very common response, e5, still very popular today. Knight f3, most played move in this position. d6, this is the Philidor defense, and not very popular today, often considered fairly passive, as it blocks in black's dark square bishop right away. d4, a good approach to open up the center. Bishop g4. Now this is a mistake. Shannon, would you like to tell them why this is a mistake? Do you know?
well, when black now can't trade the when white takes from D to E, black can't take back because it will open up the queen, leaving the bishop, the knight to win the pawn.
Yeah, that's exactly what he played. He played d takes e5. Now, Murphy's opponent, realizing that, as Shannon said, if he takes back with his pawn now, the queens will be traded, and white's knight on f3 will be able to capture black's e-pawn. So instead, black makes the correct choice in this situation by playing bishop takes f3, forcing the queen to take back, and now black can make the recapture on e5. But this leaves really good developing chances for white with his move bishop to c4. Now this looks like a scholar's mate, something that you typically don't want to go for, but the fact that Morphy can develop so quickly and with tempo against f7 is what makes it a really good move. Knight f6 blocks it, and a very nice queen move by Morphy up here, creating a double attack. Shannon, what we got here?
Yeah, B3, the queen will drop behind the bishop and put a little more pressure on the F7 pawn, also attacking the B7 pawn. It's a nice little fork.
So already black is feeling, right out of the opening on move 7, white has a lot of pressure. So, and there's not a really good way, there's no way to deal with this double attack too well. Kind of an awkward queen move, queen e7, blocking in black's dark square bishop. And the hope for black now, the main idea behind queen e7 is that if white chooses to take the pawn on b7, white can play queen to b4 check, forcing a queen trade. But Paul Morphy, very ahead of his time, very big on modern day principles, just stuck with the developing theme and played a very strong knight c3. Now black has absolutely no opportunity to check, so now the b pawn is threatened.
C6 here is a good move because it not only protects the B7 pawn from the queen with black's queen, but it also stops the knight from coming in on the B file there. The bishop is just going to pin the knight against the queen now, and
White's next, or black's next move rather, is it appears to be a pretty good one. It's b5, which would be normally pretty good in the situation. It expands on the queen side and hits the bishop. Black hoping for a bishop retreat maybe to d3 or e2. But the fact that white is so far ahead in development and position lets him use his knight for a very nice positional combination. And after the knight is recaptured, the bishop can capture on b5 with check, leaving the only real good move is to block with the knight, because if he blocked with the other knight, the queen would hang, and if he took with the queen, or if he blocked with the queen rather, it would just be taken, and if the king moved, he wouldn't be able to castle.
This is a nice little move by white, and it's going to eventually put black in a position where white's again gonna trade off some material for lesser point values, but put white in a position where they can do some serious damage with a nice sack.
Yeah, all the pins on these knights they're really starting to show. All the pressure from right on this knight is just going to be a little bit too much for black to handle. Black does try to defend, playing rook to d8, but a really nice sack and display of the power of development position is rook takes d7, sacrificing the exchange. And after rook takes, because anything else would be a loss of material, the last of white's pieces comes into the game. And you can just see white's material disadvantage doesn't really matter, because all of black's pieces on the king side are just tied down. This rook isn't doing anything, this bishop isn't doing anything, this knight is pinned, and this rook is pinned. So black has to do something about the immediate threat of rook takes rook. It attempts to do that with queen to e6, offering a queen trade and freeing up black's knight to recapture on e7. And after bishop takes rook, check, knight takes d7, a really beautiful way to finish off the game. We got Shannon.
With yet another sack, the third in this game, the queen is going to drop down on the b file to b8 with a check, forcing the knight to recapture, allowing the beautiful rook to d8 for checkmate, with defended by the bishop.
Yeah, a really good game by Paul Morphy, really showing great examples of modern day principles, great tactics with pins, and showing that development is extremely important and king safety is just the real main point in this game is if you have a lead in development and your opponent's king is in the center, it's a great idea to open up the center where you can attack it. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.